All right, everyone, welcome to today's session. I think we can all agree in the power of email marketing. If we ever need a friendly reminder, all it takes is us opening our own inboxes to see the way that companies are showing up to us. But I think when it comes to harnessing that power for ourselves and our own businesses, it can feel both a little bit tricky and time consuming, which is where Allison Hardy comes in. Allison is a marketing expert. She is the host of the Six Figure Podcast or Six Figure Secret podcast. She helps professionals in all industries speak to their ideal client and fill their pipeline on autopilot through the power of email funnels. And today she's going to show us how to do just that. She's going to cover some best practices, teach us some tips and tricks, and hopefully motivate us to show up more authentically to our clients on autopilot. Allison, thanks for showing up today, and thank you so much for doing this.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I'm excited to talk to your crew. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. So let me go. Oh, can you give me permission to do
Oh,
that?
yes, absolutely.
And you got, I think your background's hilarious. I think it's The Simpsons. It's cracking me up.
Sure do.
Mhm.
Okay, I think you should have sharing capabilities.
Yeah.
Cool. And also, as always, you guys, if you have questions, go ahead and pop them in the chat. Likely it's something that she'll hit on, and if not, then we'll pick it up at the end or kind of chime in as things come up. Cool.
Yeah, for sure. So I am more than happy to like workshop ideas. I am here to support y'all today. So please let me know what questions you have. Like nothing is off limits. So in today's training, we're going to talk about just email marketing best practices. In this training, I'm going to be walking us through three things. Number one, best practices. Number two, nurturing your client base. And number three, conversion strategies. So who am I? I'm Allison Hardy. Hi. I know everyone's new to me. And quite honestly, my favorite thing in the world is being with the people I love the most. I know I'm supposed to have like a big, like sexy promise here. I don't have that. I just started a business and my whole, not just started a business, but when I started my business, my whole perspective, my mindset, the way I was doing it was so that I could spend more time with my family. Because prior to this, prior to having a business, I was working 60, 70-hour weeks. And while those were fine for a season, they got me to a point, I was like, yeah, no more. I don't want that anymore. So I'm all about the freedom. I'm all about what having smart systems like email marketing can do for you and for your business and how it can buy you back time and help you to make more money. What do? I help entrepreneurs stay top of mind by helping them to create intentional, sustainable, and profitable email marketing. And we do that without feeling like a total slime ball. I hate sleazy sales. Like, well, I'm like allergic to it. So I don't subscribe to that idea at all. I know some people do, and that's cool and that's fine for them. That is not my perspective. So I wanted to share those two things because I think that's really important as we move through today's training. And if that resonates with you, I'm really glad you're here. So I also get the pleasure of working with some really cool people. This is Neil. I helped her to sell her course, which was $1,000 course. She was able to sell $100,000 of that course in 93 days through the email marketing strategies that we employed together, which is really cool. And I was super happy that Neil was able to achieve those types of results. All right, so let's dig into the meat and potatoes of today's training. So first off, we're going to talk about best practices. No, if there is nothing you know, or if you don't take away anything else from today's training, it's this. I want you emailing your people consistently. Now, consistently looks different for everyone. And people always ask me, well, what's the minimum I have to do? I believe, it is my theory, my philosophy, that you should be sending an email at least once a week to your email list. Some people like that makes them cringe. Some people are like, oh, that's easy. So wherever you lie in that, that's okay. But I do think a weekly email makes sense to stay top of mind and relay information to your people. A big limiting belief mindset that people have is that I don't want to be annoying, I don't want to be salesy. And so they have this objection to sending emails because they don't want to be that. We've all received annoying emails. We've all been on the receiving end of bad pitches, of bad emails. And so like it's always that fear that pops up into people's minds. But what I want you to know is that if you want to sell more and if you want to have more clients, you need to stay top of mind. And so email marketing does that? It means that you need to send emails consistently. You need to consistently stay top of mind. And the way you do that is by sending emails. So let's dig into one of my favorite businesses' email marketing habits to work through this idea. So I'm going to show you like a case study from my own inbox from a brand that I love called Old Navy. Yay. Everybody loves Old Navy, right? So this is a screenshot from my inbox back in January. And you can see Old Navy sends me at least 2 emails, if not 3 emails, every single day. Now I am like I'm a very loyal customer to Old Navy, and I'll explain why. So I think I get more emails than the average person, but this is how many emails I got from Old Navy from January 1st until January 8th. That's a bunch, right? It's a lot of emails. Am I upset that Old Navy emails me multiple times every day? I'm absolutely not. I don't care because I have these 2 children that are rails. They are so thin and they only fit in Old Navy's Rockstar jeans. It is the only thing that they can wear that actually fits them, that is somewhat comfortable. It's made for thinner people, and it doesn't have like those, like, if you guys have kids, like those like adjustable waistbands that are super uncomfortable. It's a minimal on those jeans. So I am a loyal Old Navy buyer simply because of their Rockstar jeans. So what I did here was I searched the term Rockstar jeans in my inbox. And you can see these are all the emails that I've received from Old Navy that have that term in it somewhere. And you can see whenever there is the word Rockstar jeans, I open it up and I read it. So you can see like the more like grayer emails, those are the ones that I've opened because I saw the word Rockstar jeans. So I am super interested in Old Navy's emails when they use the term Rockstar jeans. And what I want you also to note here is that there is a call to action in every single email that I get from them. And so I've underlined them here. You can see they put the price point in there. They talk about a deal today only. There's a offer and there's some sort of scarcity in there. So there's a reason why I should buy today as opposed to buying tomorrow. Um, so I wanted to show this because I think it's a really great illustration of when you have the right people in your network, when you are emailing them consistently, when you're staying top of mind, when you are maybe having terms that they are searching for in your emails, it makes it a lot easier to develop that know, like, and trust factor. It makes it a lot easier for you to stay top of mind. And so when they're looking to do the thing that they need to do, they're going to think of you. And so it's a great way to, again, stay top of mind. And that's really like number one with email marketing, is that your people need to know who you are, what you do, what you offer. And by emailing them consistently, it allows you to do that. So obviously you're not going to be asking your subscribers to buy a house in every single email, right? That's not how it goes. But what is a call to action that you could use in your emails? It's time to get creative here. When we have calls to action, that develops that know, like, and trust factor. It creates that engagement and it creates that relationship with you and them. So I have a couple of options here for you, because this is always the thing that that people get hung up on. Like, what's the call to action? I'm not going to ask them to buy something in every single email. You don't have to, but you can have ways to have different types of touch points with them. So maybe it's like, hey, book a call. Here's my calendar link. Book a call. We'll chat about whatever it is that you want to chat about, or whatever it is that you want to chat about with them. Attend an open house. Like, I've got this open house coming up this Saturday. It's at this time. It's for this type of house. Like, here we are. Here, like, invite. Here we go. Come to our info session. I know a lot of companies do like info sessions. I remember when we were buying our house, we had like a finance info session. We were first time home buyers, so we had to go to like this FHA loan session, right? So like that helps people to understand more about the process, or maybe to qualify themselves as certain types of buyers, right?
Deliver a message straight to Kamala Harris.
Oh, there we go. Fill out this interest form. So are you interested in a certain topic? Are you interested in a certain area? Are you interested in a certain type of house? Like, how can I serve you? And how can you, this is a great way also to like segment your list. So you can have people that are like looking to buy houses. You can have people that are looking to sell houses or sell their house. You can have people that are looking to maybe buy in a certain area or sell in a certain area. You can have a really great way to figure out who your people are, what they want to do, and why they are on your email list. So you can send them more specific emails based on, what they fill out in that interest form. Download this calculator. I will never forget this one. So when we were buying our home, we're first time home buyers. We have literally no idea what we're doing. So I had no idea like how much money like closing costs would cost. So our realtor gave us this amazing calculator that helped us to calculate our closing costs. So tools that give them knowledge that you can create really easily and probably that you already have, right? Learn more about our home maintenance package. What are like the add-ons that you have? What makes you different as someone who works with your clients? That was just a very specific example, but like, what are other things that you have that you can serve your clients through? And these are always your like USPs, your unique selling propositions. So what makes you different from other people in your industry? What other offers do you have? How do you serve your clients in a really cohesive, comprehensive, holistic way? That would be a great way to, again, develop that know, like, and trust factor. Schedule a showing. Like, hey, you want to sell your house? Let's like get it going. Or like, hey, you want to see this house? Like, let's schedule that. So just having different ways that people can connect with you, that people can relate with you, people can, use your services. It's not always like a singular call to action, because I'm going to talk about this in a little bit. There's different types of buyers in your network. Like I am the type of person, like I don't even know details. I just need to know like price point. I need to know like a couple of like a few details, and then like I'm in. It does not take a lot in my business for me to make buying decisions. Other people are not that way. So having different, if we think about like the different buyers in our network, what information do they need? And how can you, through your calls to action, help them to like navigate this idea with you? All right. Also, what this does, and this is really important, is this creates a culture of clicking in your email list. If we're thinking about email marketing from a very technical standpoint, people have to click in your email list to do something, right? To work with you, to, do the other things. We need to, if our goal is to get them to work with you, right? They're going to do that in your emails through like probably clicking something and like filling out some sort of form or doing something, right? So having emails that encourage them to click on something, every single email creates that culture of clicking. They're used to interacting with you and your business in that way. It also helps Google to recognize your email list as a healthy, engaged email list. So you won't go to spam as much. You'll still probably stay in promotions, which is fine. But if your email list is not recognized as healthy, Google will start to push you over to spam. And so one of the ways that that Google recognizes that your email list is healthy, again, is through clicking. So having calls to action in your emails is really important. Yes, for the know, like, and trust factor, but also so that like the work that you're doing, writing all these emails and sending them out, actually gets the ROI that you're looking for, because Google is delivering it to the right place. I had a client come to me and she was like, nobody clicks on my emails. I was like, oh, well, let's look at your emails. And they were good emails. But I was like, what's going on? And we realized she had like never actually asked them to click on anything. So her list wasn't deemed healthy, even though her emails were really great, but Google was sending them to spam. And so as soon as we recognized that, we were able to alleviate it. And now every single email girlfriend has a click. Like there is a link at least once or twice or three times or sometimes four times to click on something, so that, again, Google recognizes her people as real people that want to hear from her. And also when they click, they're engaging with you. So that you're developing that know, like, and trust factor. You are staying top of mind. They are getting value from you, so that when they do decide to work with someone, you are like, oh, right, they helped me with this thing, right? Oh, okay, I'm going to work with them. And so it makes that engagement then pays off down the line. And again, when you engage with you, they're establishing that relationship. All right, so nurturing your client base. I see there's a question. Let me go ahead and check that out. Does it like need to be a website? Can it be to social media or a flyer? Yeah, totally, Caitlin. It can be to anything. So it could be to your website. Maybe you like wrote a blog post. Great, awesome. It can be to like a reel that you posted on social media for sure. That's a great way to get more followers. And when you're in their email and they're following you on Instagram, you're kind of a little bit everywhere, which is really cool. And then if you add some like paid advertising in there, like that's even better. So yeah, it can be to social media or it can definitely be to a flyer. I would make the flyer something that gets like down. Sometimes people just do like, here's a like web page with a flyer on it. I would have it be like downloadable so that it's something that gets saved to their computer so that they can find it easily. But yeah, it can be to anything. I'm always a fan of driving traffic to your website simply because that's like your home base and it's something that you own. You don't own social, but there is some advantages, of course, to driving to social for sure. And there has to be a reason as to why you're driving to social. So maybe you created a reel of a walkthrough of a home. Great. Send that specific reel to your email list instead of like, hey, I posted on Instagram. Here's my Instagram account. Know what I mean? But yeah, I would think about that call to action for sure and how it serves your people. And yes, it can be anywhere. Great question. Awesome. Okay. Nurturing your client base. There we go. All right, this is always the question. What do I email people about? Like, what am I gonna say? I have nothing else to say. Things that I'm talking about aren't exactly exciting. I get that everywhere, no matter what industry people are in. Online business, in-person business, not like corporations, like no matter what, I always get this objection. So I have two different options for you here. One is a themed newsletter and one is another thing, and I'll talk about in a little bit. But a themed newsletter is something you send out maybe like once a week, let's say, just for this example, every Monday. And it has, the same categories every single week. So I worked with a realtor recently, and these are kind of like the things that she likes to talk about. So I included them here. Her recent listings, her recent sales. She loves to talk about cleaning products. That's cool. I know it's a huge part of how she serves her clients. She was telling me about like this red wine that got spilled on this white couch at an open house. Of course the person was like mortified and she had this like amazing cleaning thing and she brought it out during the open house and she like cleaned it up. And then like the person who spilled it was like, oh my gosh, what is this? What is this? And it was just like this really great like value add that was from this like accident at open house. Open house hacks. So this client, she is a fan of having like fresh cut flowers in every room. And one of her open houses had that. And someone like remarked who attended the open house that like, oh, those flowers were beautiful. I loved them. And then that person ended up like buying not that house from her, but like another house that she was listing. So that was really cool. Financial snapshots, like this could be like financial trends, like are interest rates decreasing? Is it a buyer's market, seller's market, things like that. Testimonials from past clients or current clients about how you served them. A local trend you're seeing. So like are a lot of houses that are being sold in this area white? I don't know. If someone wants like a white house, like that might be like the area for them. Something that you learned, like fun facts maybe about your area. So when we were buying our house, I never forget this, our realtor, we bought a house off of Richmond Highway in Woodbridge, Virginia. And so the interesting thing about this area that I did not know was Richmond Highway was where the Confederates marched up to try to take DC during the Civil War. I didn't know that, but I bought a house off of it. I just thought that was kind of cool. And then people would come over, I'd be like, oh yeah, tell me like this is the road that, and it's like a nice historical thing. Landscaping tips, right? Things to make the outside of your house look great. Neighborhood feature. So like this neighborhood just put in a shopping center and there's a local coffee shop and a really great deli. I don't know, something like that. But what she does is every week she sends out a newsletter that has 4 of these things. So like last week, her newsletter was these 4 things. A recent listing that she has, a recent sale she had from last week, another cleaning product that she loves, and her open house hack of, I think this one was something about like having a candle in the bathroom, I think, something like that. There's something with the bathroom. Um, she doesn't include all of this, doesn't include like the financial snapshot and everything down. The things that are in that like magenta color is what she had, because that would be overwhelming. Having all of this stuff in a newsletter would be a lot. So what she does is she sends out every month, she picks 4 of these things. So like this month it's these things in magenta. And then the next month she like rotates through other things. So she has these topics that she can easily talk about. She picks 4 every month, and that's what's in her newsletter. Super, 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 super easy. And it's already stuff she does. So for her, she can give this like task to her, I forget what she calls it, her like assistant, her executive assistant, I think is what she calls her. And because her executive assistant works with her, she can do very easily just like create this newsletter, and they send it out every single week. And her clients love it. And again, she's not doing all of this. She just picks 4 so that it's not overwhelming. She always makes sure that she has some sort of like recent sale and or a testimonial in the newsletters, because she wants to showcase people the type of homes that she's selling. She wants to showcase people the service that she gives her clients. She wants to help to showcase how her business takes care of her clients. It's like a really big like value of hers. She really wants her clients to feel taken care of. So she always makes sure that she sells, or she has like one of those topics in her newsletters every single week. Another idea, if you're like, this is overwhelming, totally cool. You can do a one-off email. So any of these, another like perspective and another approach that she was trying for a little while was she would take one of these topics and do a solo email about this topic. And so that would go out once a week. So week number 1 would be a solo email about a recent listing. Week number 2 would be a solo email celebrating a recent sale, things like that. The pros and the cons of this is, let me see. I want to see if I had a slide on that. So the pros and cons of this, if you do the one-off email, you are only showcasing one thing. So the one topic is getting everyone's attention. And so that has some pros. Also, it has some cons in that, like, if someone's not interested in the cleaning product, they're probably not going to open the email, which is fine, right? That's okay. That's allowed. But it can be kind of polarizing, which also can be really good sometimes when it comes to marketing. So again, pros and cons. Now, the newsletter, if you have these 4 things in one email, it can be overwhelming. So there's that. So there's pros and cons to both. But also like a pro is that you're probably going to get more people to open the emails because there's different topics in the emails that could apply or appeal to a broader audience. So again, pros and cons, it's a whatever works best for you type of thing. I don't think one is wrong. I don't think one is right. It's however you want to show up. And you could just try it out, right? So for a month, you could try the newsletter. And then maybe for the next month, you do like the one-off emails of each of these topics. So why is this important? Again, it keeps you top of mind. That's really what this is all about, is consistently showing up in a place that actually receives information in a cohesive, algorithm-proof way that delivers the information that you want people to have. All right, so conversion strategies. This is my most favorite thing to talk about in email marketing. So how can we sell more? And when I say the word sell, I'm not necessarily talking about like buying something from you, but you have to sell people on the idea, right? So you have to sell people on the idea of, I'm a really great expert at selling homes. I'm a really great expert at like helping you buy a home. You have to sell that idea, right? So that's what I mean by sales here. So what's really, really helpful is if you can map out limiting beliefs and or objections that your buyers have. We all have different types of buyers in our network, and there are actually 7 different types of buyers. And so if you can speak to those types of buyers in your email, it makes them a whole lot more likely to work with you because they feel seen, they feel heard. Like, okay, this person's going to take care of me. This person has similar ideas as to what I have. And it's a great way just to create that relationship so that they eventually work with you. Okay, so we're going to talk about emails and pairing them with a type of buyer. So there are buyers in your audience that are to the point. This is me. I do, again, like I said earlier, I don't need a lot of fluff. I just need to know, like, What's the price point? What is it? And like, if it's something that I want, I'm probably going to buy it. I'm not on people's email lists just to like watch them. I want to buy things from them. So this is like an announcement email. This is the one that's like, hey, new listing. Here's the house. Here's the information on it. Schedule a showing, or schedule, what is it called when you go there? Showing, I think. Super nitty, like super like basic information. There are people in your audience that only need this information. And so that to the point person is that person. There are other people in your audience that are the details people. Truthfully, I am not a details person. And the buyers that I have in my network that are details people kind of drive me crazy, but they exist, right? We all have like the type of buyer that kind of drives us crazy. For me, it's a details person. Marta, I'm glad you left. So this person, the frequently asked questions email is a great way to meet this person where they are with all their details needing. So what are like the questions you get all the time? I'm sure everyone has them. I'm sure you can think of a couple right now off the top of your head. Having an email that answers those questions in it can make it so that you're not answering those questions all the time, and it speaks to the details person. Also, anytime someone asks you a question, there's usually like a deeper underlying question that they are, or maybe not a question, a deeper underlying concern that they have. So if it's a home and it is, let's say in a neighborhood and it's a mile from the school, here where I live, you don't get a bus, but maybe where this home is, you do get a bus for school. So if they have kids, they could be concerned about, do they get a bus for school? So if they ask something about like distance to the nearest schools, think about like, okay, if they have kids, if they're looking to buy in a certain area, so they go to a certain school, like what else do they need to know? Why are they asking specific questions like this? So really digging a little bit deeper as to why this question might be asked can be really, really helpful in helping them again to feel seen, heard, taken care of. We all have the skeptics, right? We all have the skeptics. Like, are you actually as good as they say you are? And that's okay. So sharing a client story about someone working with you and their experience with you can be great to like debunk, to bring the skeptics like armor a little down. There are some people that just want to know about you. Really, they just want to know about you. Why do you do this? How did you get into this? Did you have an experience that like you had a bad experience, or like you wanted to become the person that gave everybody a good experience? Like, what's your motivator? And I know this can feel weird to share when it's like not about you, right? It's about like them buying and you taking care of them. But there are those relational people in your network. You might share that your kids play travel baseball and they're like, oh my gosh, my kids play travel baseball. Like, oh, we have so much in common. Let's talk about the cooler that you have, right? So having your story in your marketing can be really, really helpful for the relational people. There are some people that just need an invitation. So an engagement email can be really, 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 really simple, but very powerful. So an engagement email can look like this. Hey, name of person. You've been in my network for a while. You probably have questions. Hit reply and ask me no, and let me know what your questions are. I'm here answering every single one of them today. All that does is just get them to respond to you. And it's geared towards the people who need that invite. They probably could have hit reply and asked you questions in any email they've sent you up to this point, or you've sent them up to this point. But some people just need the invitation. This email is a great way to develop that relationship. Make sure you're responding within a somewhat timely manner. But it's wonderful for just meeting people again where they are and answering their questions. And these people are usually really, really loyal, and they just needed like the one thing answered, and then they're like yours forever. They're super happy and like thrilled to work with you. There's someone in your audience who's struggling. They are struggling with like, where do I go? Like, where do I look for a house? How much money can I spend? I don't know if I can spend that much. I don't really know what I need. Like they don't know what they want, but they know, they want this bigger picture thing. So if we could write emails from the perspective of, I hear you. I know this is confusing. I know this is overwhelming. I know it's hard to pick what neighborhood to live in. I know you're pool might be smaller to pick from. I don't know, whatever like you're seeing in the industry. Um, Acknowledging their pain points, acknowledging the fact that they don't know what to do, or they're indecisive, or they're overwhelmed, is a really great way to relate with people, because it can be overwhelming, right? Like that's a common thing that people experience. So addressing the person who is struggling is a great way, again, to connect with people. And then the last type of person is I didn't know a better word for this, the perpetually positive people. If you guys are into like the Enneagram 7s are these people. They're like the super happy, super positive, super upbeat people. Everything is great. It's going to be awesome. I am not this person, so I do have a hard time relating to these people. But, painting a picture for these people in your email as to what's possible when they live in this area. What is their life going to be like? What is like their daily, what are they going to experience on the daily? Quiet streets because they're off of the ambulance route. Or there's the community center in the backyard that has yoga every Friday at 10 a.m. Or there's a baseball field down the street that your kids can go play to, or play in. I know that like those are things that are important to you, or those are things that you might be interested in. So showing like the positive aspects, the what's possible when you live in the spot, or what's possible when you sell with me, is a great way to really speak to those people. And I couldn't find a better word for it, so I included perpetually positive. Okay, so those are the 7 different types of buyers. I think really when it comes to writing emails that speak to these people, it's a matter of knowing more about them. So you all probably have people in your network that you've worked with that are these people. So thinking back to these people, what did they need to know? What did they say? What were the words they used? And when you write those emails, having that person in mind and writing the email like you're talking to them. So something you can do, something that I used to do before I started doing email marketing for like a living, is I would actually speak into like my voice recorder on my phone. And I would just pretend like I was talking to the people, or I would record like calls with their permission. And hear like the words that they said, and hear how I responded, and hear how they responded to my response, So like if you're really struggling with writing these emails, or you're like, I don't know what to say, maybe try just like talking into your phone and recording it, and then using something to transcribe it, and then editing it. That can be a great way to really get your ideas going. And then I think once it's like anything, once you start to do this work, it can come a lot easier. But it's like getting going that's really important. All right. If you guys hang out on Instagram, I would love to be your Insta friend. Come over to my handle, or come over to my account, Allison_Hardy_. Send me a DM. Say hi. I'd love to learn more about you. And then if you are looking for email marketing help, I do done for you work. So all you need to do is scan this QR code, fill out the form, and I will be in touch within 24 hours with some ideas, some options, and we can hop on the phone and chat about what you're looking to do. But now, if you guys have any questions, I would love to answer questions for you. You can unmute, you can put it in the chat, whatever you want to do.
I have a quick question. Obviously, you do some done-for-you services, but for individuals that are trying to do it kind of on their own, what are your thoughts on utilizing AI to help generate content?
I don't think it's bad. I think that you need to, with this in mind, I think that you need to train your bot or your person, whatever you think about it, to speak in your words. I think that's really, really important. So the tone that it's using. I also think it's a good marker. Like it's a good, I recently used ChatGPT. I was doing a master class and I was like, here's what it is. Here are the 3 points I'm going to be making. Cause I was just like out of brain space. And I said, make it like a casual, friendly tone, and make it under, I think, something like 500 words. Cause I wanted it to be like a shorter email. And it was great. It really, gave me some good stuff. And then I was able to work with it. So I use it as like a starting point. And that's what I would encourage you to do. Sometimes it just helps to like use it to like get some ideas flowing, and then it'll flow from there. But I do think it's really important to like use it from a cautious point of view, because a lot of times you can tell, right? You can tell if it's done through ChatGPT.
Totally. Thank you. You go.
Yeah.
What you got?
Yeah, so I have a question for you. So when you say newsletter, I think you are actually thinking about letter, like a written article. However, my not really problem, but the challenging part for me is English as a second language. I prefer speaking rather than writing. I feel like if I, have grammatical errors or something, people can catch it, and I'm making myself look like a dumb. Of course, I proofread, but I feel like people are a little bit lenient when it comes to me talking. But my point is also, I feel like people tend to click on videos or something, moving objects tend to catch their eyes. So I was wondering if you think it's a nice idea to like insert a video link and the people can click that one and jump to talk about whatever, like recent soils or something like cleaning products or whatever you mentioned.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea if you're more comfortable with video. So most people are not comfortable with video. So I think it's awesome that you want to record videos. Yeah, I have a client, she's a realtor here in Northern Virginia, and she has like a home maintenance plan that she has built into like her packages. And so she has like a fall home maintenance plan, like this is what you want to do to maintain your home in the fall. And she like drips out every week, like this is your thing you're gonna do this week. So she'll record like herself like cleaning out gutters and like how to do it. And her people love it because it's not, something that they're reading. It's something they can watch. They're super short. They're not complicated. They're like bite-sized chunks. And it's a great way that her clients are nurtured and taken care of. And then when she says in the video, like, if you don't want to do this yourself, I've got this home maintenance plan for you that you can utilize. And we can do this for you. So it's a great like selling proposition also. So I love that. You guys, I think it's a great idea.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, it helps them to get to know your personality. Absolutely. Because they're going to be working with you, right? They're going to be in person with you. You guys are going to be doing the thing. Like it's good. It's a lot, right? So they can see your mannerisms, how you speak, how you like move through the world. Like it's a great way to help them to see your personality for sure. Great idea.
I have a random kind of more tangible question,
Yeah.
and I'm putting you on the spot, so totally understood if you don't have a great answer for it. But if I'm working on a freebie or a lead magnet of some sort, I want to talk about the delivery of that. Obviously, once, like if someone signs up, then they'll get kind of an automated email and it says click here to download. What is the best method for doing that so that it makes it to their inbox while still maintaining the quality? Um, do you know of softwares that do that and how people kind of tangibly make that happen? Because I know like the times I've ordered them, I'll click on them and they'll open as a new tab that also downloads as it opens. Do you know what that software is or what people are doing for that? Or are they literally kind of embedding it?
Yeah, so I am actually not a fan of when you download a lead magnet of it downloading immediately to your computer. Because if we think about how we want our people to interact with us, if we want them to be opening our emails, we have to give them a reason to open the emails. So when someone like downloads your lead magnet, I think it should be delivered via email. So after they fill out like the form, right, you have the landing page for the lead magnet, they put their information in, they hit submit. There should be a screen that pops up, and this is my perspective, so take it with a grain of salt. There should be a screen that pops up that says, thank you so much. Your whatever it is, your guide is hanging out in your inbox. It's from this email address. If you don't see it within 10 minutes, check your spam, check your promotions folder. That way they know, okay, cool. If it went there, that's great. And that, so I can find it. And then in that email, you deliver the lead magnet and you're going to tell them to add you to their contacts so that you can appear in the right place for them so that you don't go to spam. And you can say something like, I want you to make sure that you're getting everything that you're getting served, that you're getting all the value I'm going to provide you with, that you're getting communications from me if you want to hear from me. So make sure you add me to your contacts so that that can continue to happen. It just makes it so that you're getting the people are like getting what they want and you're able to email with them in a place that is where they want to go. Does that make sense? Does that answer your question?
Yeah, kind of. I definitely agree with the email delivery. I'm more so thinking of like within those emails when you do click that button that says download, how are they making that happen? Because sometimes I can tell it is a slightly lower quality, and in my mind, I'm like, well, I bet that was a really big file size. How
Yeah.
do you deliver a large file
Yeah. Yeah. So you could do like a forced copy through Google Docs. So you could upload like a PDF, like let's say you have like a 50-page PDF. That's your lead magnet. You can download it or upload it to Google Docs, and you can create like a forced copy link that requires, like, as soon as they click on it, it just automatically copies it and downloads it to their computer. You can do that. Also, a lot of email marketing softwares have the ability to embed like files in there. All of like the email marketing softwares that I have give you like recommended sizes and like dimensions and like file sizes so that it doesn't get like pixelated or low quality. So I would definitely pay attention to that. But most email marketing softwares, if they're relatively good, have a way to deliver that file. But I'm always a fan of the Google Doc auto copy or force copy, because then like it's stored on their drive. And even if they don't use Google Drive, it's still there. You know, it's always there for them unless they delete it.
Very cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yuka, did you raise your hand again, or is that from?
Yeah, so correct me if I'm wrong, Kate. Your question is how you transfer big size, like say video or something, and ideally you want to insert the link so people can click the link and go to the video or something like that. Is that what you're asking, or?
Mine was actually more so related to PDF documents. Like if someone
PDF.
says, "Oh, download my guide." Yeah, but to
Oh,
your
okay.
point, embedding videos can be a little tricky. I know, and Allison, maybe you want to talk to that a little bit, because I know at least, there's some like Bomb. That's the one that's coming to mind, where you can
Oh yeah,
embed it
for
and it will have kind of a GIF, right? But then most of
right.
the time, I think you're kind
Yeah.
of taking a screenshot, and when they click it, it can go.
Oh,
Or
I
what are
see.
your
Yeah,
thoughts,
I
Allison?
often need to transfer video, like a short video, 2 minutes video of myself for totally unrelated to real estate. But I use the app for that one. If anybody wants to know, I use the app called WeTransfer, WE and transfer. And what it does is create a link, which is people can click and download that video that I want to transfer. So I don't have to send a big size video in that email. And the link is good for like 6 days or something. So I don't know if it's good for PDF. I only have tried video, like big size, maybe big size pictures and stuff, but I just wanted to let you know that thing is there in the world.
Thank you. Yeah, I
Yeah,
also
when it
like
comes
Loom.
to, yes, Loom is great. Loom is awesome. When it comes to videos inside of email marketing, um, I always go back to the idea of like the click. So we want to establish that culture of clicking. So if there's a video, what I would recommend you do is put the video on YouTube or on Vimeo, utilize SEO to get it seen by more people, and then take that video and embed it on like a web page that you have on your website, and drive traffic to your website, because then they're on your website, which is your home base, which is where you want them to go. Don't drive traffic to the YouTube channel, but have that YouTube video embedded on your website so that you're getting that traffic to your website. And then with the YouTube video, you can utilize SEO to get seen by more people. And then in the description, have something about a way to work with you, like download the lead magnet, do something like have a call to action there. So you're kind of like scooping up 2 different places.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Anyone else have any questions? Now's your time.
I have a
Mhm.
quick question.
Yeah.
Do you have any tips for figuring out who the target market is? Like, let's say you're trying to email a neighborhood. Is there any way to kind of figure out who these people are that you would recommend?
So are they existing people on your email list, or are they like you want to get in touch with new
So I
people in
guess
your area?
really both, for 2 separate types of email campaigns.
Mhm.
But if I was going to do, let's just say we're going to look at a neighborhood and start emailing them. Is there any websites, like, would you recommend going to the tax records and kind of looking these people up, finding their age, that kind of thing? Or is there maybe a simpler way to approach it?
I don't know the answer to that one.
Okay.
Yeah, I like, my thought is always like Facebook ads are a great way to get a hold of people. So you can target like, ages, demographics, income levels, zip codes,
You can do
like
that
that
through the
one.
white pages also.
Okay.
That
Okay.
works. And that gives you addresses you can do around the neighborhood. So I've used that before.
Super helpful.
All right, thanks.
I have a question because I get sometimes buy leads, okay? So, you know, these people don't know me at all, and I send them emails and, you know, to introduce myself and to, you know, respond to whatever they were looking, you know, because it's usually somebody looking for something. I don't know that I agree. And I don't know how I feel about like spamming them constantly with emails, you know? I mean, they don't really know me. I mean, I just feel like after a while they're going to just, you know, unsubscribe or whatever. You know, and you want to stay top of mind, but I'm not sure. So I loved your idea about a video. I would do a video. Like I'm thinking, you know, send out an email first, responding to what they're looking for, and then the next time introduce myself through video. Any other ideas to keep in touch with people like that? I mean, because they're not necessarily ready to engage yet, but I want to keep in touch with them.
Yeah, yeah. And that's always the thing with buying leads. It can be harder because they're not, you know, it's not like they have actively sought you out, right? You've sought them out. So
Right.
yeah, I think it's important that you engage with them in a very specific way, for sure. So what I would consider doing is kind of like what you said. Anyone who engages back with you, so like maybe you send an initial email that's like introducing yourself, asking them if they have, you know, needs or concerns, and then if they respond to you, sending them the video. But if they don't respond to you, you could continue to email them and eventually they'll just unsubscribe, which is like, okay, like we need to actually celebrate unsubscribes as people saying like, I'm not ready or I'm not going to work with you. And that's cool. That's great. So maybe there's another like follow-up sequence for people that haven't yet responded. And then if they never respond, maybe you boot them off your email list over a certain amount of time. But yeah, I think you can definitely consider like how they've engaged with you, what they've said back, if they've engaged with you, and send them through like different funnels essentially based on their engagement with you.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any follow-up questions?
I mean, I hate getting emails, to be honest, from people I don't know, unless I'm looking for something. So, I mean,
Right.
it's interesting to me that you say to, you know, send an email every week. I don't mean to be argumentative about it, but it's just like, I just feel like I wouldn't do that, you know, because I wouldn't want that.
Right.
I
So
mean,
like think about, but
so I go other approaches. I call them. I, you know, send them something through the mail. You know, especially if I have their address. But yeah, I find people are just getting really tough to get even on the phone. You know, because you know everybody just kind of doesn't. They don't want to talk to telemarketers or somebody that they don't know if they don't recognize your phone number. So
yeah.
you know, it's difficult, I think, to figure out a good way to touch these people. You know, I do have a newsletter that goes out, and I do the magazine and stuff like that. So, but yeah, emails I think are tough.
Yeah, and I think something that you said is really worth highlighting. You said that if I don't want to hear from you, I don't want to get emails from you. So it's thinking about that quality of the lead. So like if they do want to hear from you, they're probably going to open your emails. But if
No, and
they
I'm
don't,
even talking about my clients. I mean, you know, clients, not clients that are now, but you know, in my database, they don't want to be spammed with email. You know, if I'm sending them a newsletter, you know, every couple of weeks or once a month, you know, I just feel like that should be enough. You know, I don't know that I want to. I mean, that's just me. So I don't know.
yeah,
I don't know how other people feel about that in terms of emails.
fair, yeah,
But that's why I
smart.
was on this call, because I really want to find a hook in an email that gets somebody to respond to it.
So what is something that what is a hook? Have you thought about some ideas?
At this point, I just basically respond, I've been responding to what their need was and not giving them too much information. So, call me if you want further information. Like, a lot of them want valuations on their homes. I'm just not going to give that until I see their home, so
Right.
that's kind of the hook that I would put with that.
Yeah. So I wonder if there's a way you could segment your list. So you could have some sort of automation established that when they click on something, it like tags them something in your email marketing and this is what they want. So like, let's say you give them 3 options. You say, I want to, like you said, valuation and then 3 other things. So then they click on a link. It's a habit-based automation. It tags them something. And so and your email marketing software knows this is what they're looking to actually do. So you can call them, you can follow up with them in a way, you could send them through a funnel, it's automated, you can do a lot of different things, but it's a way to get them the information that they want in the way that they need to receive it.
I like that. Is there a
Yeah.
program that does that?
I mean, most email marketing softwares that I know of do it. It's probably just like a digging into your software and seeing the capabilities. I use a software called ConvertKit. I know they do it. But I would probably argue whatever you use for your email marketing does that as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I use
Yeah, but that's
Flowdesk,
a
and
great,
Flowdesk definitely has segments, and you can have in your email series, it's something that they've recently added as well. As like if they click something, then it can add them to a given segment, or if they fill out a given form in this way, it adds them to a segment. Yeah.
I'm sorry, Kate, I
absolutely.
didn't hear. What was that? What program?
It's called Flowdesk. I'll put it in the chat as well.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, and most of the email marketing softwares that are like for general business have that feature available.
I think the other thing too to keep in mind, 2 things that came to mind as you guys were chatting is like, one, when I think of emails, I also kind of think of it like social media and us talking about posting to our stories regularly and um, repeating content or reusing it, right? Like the whole thought process being that someone isn't always going to see what we're putting out into the world. And so to us, it might feel like overkill, but in reality, they're only seeing a small portion of what it is. So just kind of keep that in mind. I don't know about you guys, but like I have a number of inboxes and they are all flooded. And so if you're not on my front page, I haven't seen it. And so send away because like it's back there, so kind of keep that in mind. And the
Yeah,
other
Kate,
thing
I
is,
love that.
yeah, the other thing to your point is like, who are you talking to? And different people have communication styles. Dee, I'm like you. I like to get to the point. I'll just pick up the phone and call people. But depending on who we're talking to, especially like some of the younger generations are all about texting. God forbid you actually like make them pick up a phone or walk up to a person and talk. And so I think it's just important to recognize that different people have methods of preferred communication. So although emails might make you cringe, it could be someone else's preferred buying style. Just food for thought.
Absolutely. Yeah. And if we're also looking at like data and repeating yourself, Kate, I love that you brought this up. So like email marketing, a good open rate is between like 20 and 40%. So that means what, 60 to 80% of your people aren't seeing every single email. And social is even lower. It's what, 0.5% to 1% of your followers actually see every single post. So like you can say the same thing over and over and over and over again.
Yeah, I have a
And
tracker on my emails and I see that a lot of people don't open their emails.
yeah, exactly. So you can like, I actually always resend emails out. So like I'll send an email on Monday and then on Tuesday I'll go back and I'll change the subject line and I'll resend it to the unopened. It does my unsubscribe rate does not increase. It's like I've done it for years at this point. And like it just gets more eyes on your stuff. So it's a way to like maximize your content.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah. All right. I see there's a question here from Yuka. I struggle to get people's email addresses in the first place, even from someone I know. Getting email address seems like it's even harder than getting phone numbers or their Insta account names. LOL, any tips? Good scripts to successfully get email addresses. Yuka, so how are you like generating those leads? How are you
Yeah,
getting
so
started?
when it comes to email marketing, at this point, I don't really have like lots of past clients. My SOIs are probably more like friends that I know through my hobbies and the stuff. And even though I know those people and their number, I mean, I don't know, for some reason, maybe it's just in my mind, asking for an email address. I mean, if people ask for my email address, my friend asks for my email address, honestly, I feel like, why are you asking? You got my phone number. You can text me. You're following me on Instagram. You can just, send me a message. What is that for? So I feel a little bit awkward, honestly, whenever I ask for their email address. It's almost like asking for a home address, which I can do during the Christmas time, that, strategically, without feeling awkward. But yeah, so my point is, if anybody successfully get friends' email addresses without making them feel awkward, or without making yourself feel awkward, I just don't know how to talk, I guess.
I
Yeah,
think
I
if
mean, I think
you're talking to them already, that's the hardest part, is getting a hold of somebody. Once you get a hold of them, I don't think there's anything wrong with asking, I need to send you some follow-up. Would you mind sharing your email address? I think,
Right, if they're my client, I can say that. But if they're just like a friend, let's say I do play tennis. So let's say if they are just a tennis player friend, they know I'm in real estate. So maybe I can just say, hey, I want to send you something, or I don't know. Yeah.
yeah,
yeah,
it's the intention. So it's just like you said, like when my friend asked for me for my email address, I'm like, why do you need my email address? Like there's no reason behind it. But if there's a reason behind it, if you're saying, hey, I want to send you like a snapshot of the neighborhood or whatever the thing is, can I have your email address? There's a reason behind it. So there's like, it's not weird, it's not awkward. There's like an intention.
Or you can like if your intention is to send out the newsletter, like when I started mine, if I know they're probably just people you just know them, they're tennis player, they're not probably like close friends. That's it. But if you feel comfortable talking to them, you can just tell them like, hey, I'm putting this newsletter together that I'm gonna start sending to my close people that I know, and I would want to know if you would like to receive it. And if you do, just give me your email and I'll make sure you get it. That just put it up there, just simple like that. That way they'll tell you yes or no. I don't think they're gonna say no.
Okay,
Yeah,
I guess
that's how
I'm
I would
just
put it.
raising the bar so high by myself.
Yeah, I wanted to say something. I think it's a lot easier, like when you have your information in your phone as a contact. And so it's really easy to get people's phone number from that by not using business cards and sharing your contact. Once you get that phone number and you're texting, then it becomes a lot easier to say, hey, I've got something important to send you. Can I email it to you? So that might help.
All right,
I
thank
love
you.
that.
I'll just give it a try, I guess, because the worst case, they say, no, I'm not going to give it to you, and that's it. So
And then like it's like, okay, it's done. Like, no, cool.
that's true.
I mean, that's the hardest part, right? It's like
Yep,
figuring out
that's
if they actually want it. Yeah.
All right, you guys. Well, thank you so much for hopping on today. I want to be mindful of everyone's time. We're kind of right on the money. So, Allison, thank you so much for doing this today. I really appreciate it, as I know
Yeah.
everyone else did as well. Agents, if you guys have any questions following this event, feel free to email her, or when you get this recording, you'll be able to kind of pop back for a second. And actually, maybe Allison, if you want to go back one slide and just have your QR code come up one more time, just know that this is an easy way that you can find her as well. You guys, thank you for showing up. Thank you for starting your day with us. Allison, thank you so much again for sharing your knowledge. Really appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you for having me.
Cool. Bye, y'all. Have a great day.
Right.